have like a peaceful life but be alone for your whole life, or would you rather be surrounded by annoying people? And do you really not feel so comfortable with yourself in order to be alone, and then they just moved on? It was just something that is just reminding me of.
It's not necessarily that. It isn't just like, are you so miserable with yourself you can't be alone? Are you so miserable with yourself that you can't learn from other people? Are you so self-assured that when you're in a group of people who are annoying, that the problem isn't you? Isn't there an opportunity to grow from people? I mean, imagine I don't know, you ever find yourself surrounded by assholes? Guess what? You ever see a raven flying with bluebirds? You ever see a cat running alongside a bunch of wolves? Me neither. What am I saying? If you're surrounded by assholes, guess what? You're probably the asshole. Yeah. But there has to be, someone said it earlier, about how, oh, it's Christine, that being surrounded by people can give you a reference point. In other words, how often do you, and it's a rhetorical question, but it's worth thinking about, how often do you check in with friends or people who you know? Well, first off, do you surround yourself with people who are yes people? Or do you surround yourself with people who are willing to stab you in the front and tell you the truth? Now, something in my life happened recently, and a friend of mine, I don't remember what it was, I was telling you it was Jose, and I asked him a question, he's a friend of mine, and he said, no, you're 100% right. And it floored me. I've never gotten an answer like that from him. His answers are usually, I can see why they're saying this, I can see why you would do this, maybe, and he's really good at trying to figure out, like, you know, how much of it was you were the cause of, how much of it they were the cause of, what were the competing motivations going in there. This is the first time in my life this dude just went, no, you're 100% right. I was like, I was ready for him. I thought he was trying to disarm me or something. And yeah, it's unusual for him to say that to me. And I was just like, okay. And then that actually made me skeptical, like, what do you mean by that, you know? It's good to have people around you it's necessary to have people around you who are willing to tell you the truth. And so if you find yourself surrounded by people who are really annoying, it's worth finding out, like, what is it about them that's annoying? I wonder if they see me the same way. Is there some way that I can grow from this? Because it causes suffering. I mean, this is, going off and being by yourself and being happy, which I don't know how that's possible, is the adult equivalent to taking your ball and going home. My ball, I'm leaving. Okay. But now you've also sacrificed any opportunity to grow from it. You're not going to overcome anything. What are you overcoming? What are you accomplishing? Nothing. If you're surrounding yourself with people who are annoying to you, well, here's what you can learn. How to deal with annoying people. How to even find some level of joy in it. This idea of, I'm not going to, I don't have to put up with anything. I mean, we see the fruits of that today. How long has it been since the pandemic's been pretty much over, and yet we're going to restaurants and things that are understaffed, we're getting terrible service, people are rude. Why? Because we told people, just quit your job, go home, screw it, you don't need this. I was just telling somebody recently, screw it, why not? We had a teacher here 3 years ago. And yeah, she taught 9th grade and 12th grade. She was terrible. I'd see her in the copy room, she would be making copies of something. I'd ask her, is that for your 9th grade or your 12th grade? She said, oh, it's for both. You teach the same thing to your 9th and 12th graders? Yeah, why reinvent the wheel, she would say. They can, the 12th graders can use more practice. Now, why was she giving them the same assignment?
She was too lazy to make something for the 12th graders?
Yeah, she's too lazy to do something real. Make something for the 12th graders. Why? Because she didn't give a shit about teaching. She gave 0 shits about it. If you talk to her, that would be really obvious. She was nice. She was sweet. Some people liked her. But she had no interest in educating people. But one day she came into work, and she went to the principal's office, and she said, I met with my retirement planner yesterday, and it turns out I can retire. So she was like, oh. The principal was like, neat. So you talk about the end of the semester, end of the year, and she's like, no. Right now. I'm not going to first period. So good luck. I'm out. And she went out and she rage quit. And I told that story to a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and he just goes, fuck yeah. And then I said to him, no, that's bad. And he's like, why? I said, because first off, shit, where do I start? What that means is that she absolutely hated her job. How good of a job do you think she did the past few years? You know, yeah, that's a good point. I go, it's a better point than that. It isn't like she's like, you know, sewing the tags on shirts at a factory somewhere, where if the tag is off a little bit, who gives a shit? She's educating people. She's forming lives of people. Whether you guys realize it or not, what you're doing in school right now is going to propel you forward in life or hold you back in life. It's incredible what kind of influence you can have. I think I told you, why do I teach English today? Because my math teacher when I was a 10th grader said, you're all basically retarded and won't learn math anyway. And so he read us stories. And I said, maybe he's right. Maybe I am basically retarded and won't learn math anyway. And I said, but I really like his stories. And I already read a lot. And so I said, well, I'll keep doing that. And then I told you, years later, after my mom died, I was going through old paperwork, and I found these aptitude tests that we used to take when I was a kid that would tell you where you scored against other students in the country. I was in the top 1% in math and science. I was in the bottom 20% for language. You're being taught by a dude who's in the bottom 20% of language. How is it that that happened? Because I really loved it. And so if you really love it, you're going to get good at it because you're going to practice it. It's not going to feel like practice. If you really don't like it, then it doesn't matter how much aptitude you have. You might be good at it naturally, but you're never going to be great at it. And so what this person was doing was coming in every day and teaching students. She didn't really believe in the students. She didn't enjoy what she was doing. And yeah, she put on a smile and she was nice to people and she gave you extra credit for passing out papers. But I wonder how many people really grew from that class in their thinking and their skill sets. And she's been doing that for decades. How many people were sent out into the world like that? So no, it's not good that you just rage quit. Because any job that you would rage quit, you shouldn't be doing in the first place, maybe. Unless you have to. And unless it's a stepping stone to something else. High school, does it suck? I don't know, it's up to you. It really is up to you. I fucking love it. And I've been doing high school longer than any of you. And I love it. But it's what you make of it, man. And I get it. I'm sitting back there, AJ's talking, I'm thinking, gotta stay focused, gotta pay attention, stay off my phone, and do this. You know, this is easy for me, because I'm up here, I'm talking, and so it's easy for me to stay engaged. It's hard for you, but that's also something that you can overcome. Can you overcome your short attention span? Not because what I'm saying is so damn important, but because your ability to have attention span is what's important. That's the important thing, your ability to do those things. The skill set that you can acquire. So at some point, you're going to have to do things that you don't want to do. Otherwise, you'll be doing things for the rest of your life that you don't want to do. I'll say that again. At some point, you have to be able to, at some point, you're going to have to be able to, you're going to have to do things in your life that you don't want to do. Otherwise, you'll be doing things for the rest of your life that you don't want to do. You'll be doing a job that you don't want to do. You're going to be in relationships that you don't want to be in. You're going to be interacting with people that you don't want to, because you never learn how to interact with those people. You never learn how to overcome. You know? And that's what a lot of this high school thing is learning how to overcome things. It's learning how to check the right boxes and follow the right prescriptions and all that stuff. You know? So that you don't end up having to work 30 years in something that you end up walking in one day and just rage quitting first chance you get. I don't know. It sounds like a waste of 30 years to me. Not to mention all the lives that she interacts with. 180 students a year times 30. Thousands of people. Others.